Hello and welcome everybody to the review of the Nordic Mini from Freak Athlete. Now, this device is obviously for Nordic curls. Now, the difference between a Nordic curl and a GHD or even a pull through or hip thrusters is the fact that it's going to focus more on the stretch of the hamstrings than on the glutes, and therefore it's brutal. I will tell you, I've never really done any Nordic curls before this. You can always get a barbell, put your legs underneath it, put a mat in front of it, but it's not very comfortable, I'll tell you that. This design is amazing, and I'm going to show you why this is more beneficial than doing them on the floor. Let's roll. First off, this thing took me about 20 minutes to put together. Everything was labeled. There's an awesome set of instructions that you'll get with this, with pictures. It's easier than putting together IKEA furniture. Basically, you're gonna put the rollers on this guy. You are gonna slide this in here. You are gonna put this back plate on. You're gonna put each leg on, each leg there. And then essentially, you're gonna put the pad onto these brackets here, put the center bracket on. It comes with everything and very easy to do. What's great about this, and what I mentioned before, is the fact that you essentially can get up into this guy, into position here. You're gonna put your feet on the back plate here, and you can go forward, and then you can go a little farther than you could if you were just on a floor, because obviously your face would hit the ground. Now, although this thing is not very heavy and I could just pick the whole thing up, they decided to throw wheels on here, which I thought was actually pretty cool. That way I can kind of line it up a little bit easier once I get it on the floor, similar to setting up my bench. The rollers on the back are not just some chintzy rollers that you might see like these foam ones right here. These are ones similar that you actually would see on the Rogue products with a little rubber on the outside. On the back side here, there is a place that is a plate holder essentially on the back side of the foot plate that you can go ahead and put weight. Now, I've actually never needed to use this, but I can see where if you were doing really quick motions here, this thing may pick up. I don't know, maybe your chest is freaking huge and you're just really top heavy, but I haven't had any issues, only just because I'm focusing on the slow control down and then the pushing back up. But they've added this here just in case that might be an issue for you. But don't forget, guys, you can also do sit-ups on this thing. Although the pad is not quite long enough for my liking, you can still put this roller all the way down, anchor your feet under here, and you can do core work. And that is probably a better use case scenario for this plate holder right here. This thing has a screw-in pop pin to adjust the foot roller. You can pull it out. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 notches, depending on how big your feet and your calves are. Mine are huge, so I got to use the last one. Anyways, that is basically what it comes with. But let me go ahead and show you a quick tip and why I like this better than just doing them from the floor. Okay, so now the traditional Nordic curl is essentially, I'm gonna put my feet back here, I'm gonna get anchored, I'm gonna go down slowly, and then when I get here, I can either try to control and go back up, I can use my hands a tiny bit to help me, or if I don't have it at all, I can essentially push back up and then go down again. Now, I found a cool way to help with this, but first of all, I wanna tell you that this product, I think it's a better option than doing them from the floor. And the reason that is because, number one, if you're doing it from the floor, maybe you have leg rollers on there and you have a mat. Well, this one is up off of the ground. So when you're doing it, your face is not gonna be smushed into the ground before you have a chance to push back up. That is beneficial because I can focus longer on the stretch on the way down rather than having to push back up or essentially be kissing the floor at the end of the movement. So I enjoy doing them up off the ground and having something I can just pick up and roll away. Also, real quick, I have been using this every Friday for the past month or so, and as you can see, there's tiny little dents, and that might be because I was just using it now, but this pad is a really nice pad. The material on top is not necessarily something you find on like the Rogue bench, but it doesn't need to be. It's something similar that you'd see like on a rep bench. It's not too tough and it's not too soft. It's just somewhere in the middle there, but it's held up nicely. My only one nitpick would be the wheels. The wheels are a little bit thin. It doesn't get in the way, and this is not that heavy, and they're not going to break, but maybe if they just either added some spacers on the inside so the wheels didn't wobble side to side, or beef up the wheels a tiny bit, that'd be my only nitpick. Not that it's taken away from the usage or functionality of this product at all, though. Okay, so now a quick tip that you can use with this product or any other Nordic curl, really. This is the Donnie Thompson bow tie, and it has a loop on the back here, and what I do is I usually clip it onto my stacked slinger pull down, but you can use any pulley machine that you have, and I set the weight to about 50 pounds, and that's what I started with because I wanted 50 pounds to be able to help me get back up off of the floor once I was stuck essentially at the bottom. Okay, edit that out. So once you get this thing on here, you are tied in to your weight stack. I set it on 50. So I'm in a position now. I got 50 pounds on there. I can do my Nordic curl. And essentially I have a little bit of extra help getting back up from the bottom portion of it. So each time, each week, I went down 40, 30, 20, and eventually was able to do one on my own. So that is just one tip. You can also use bands if you don't have a cable machine. That has nothing to do with the product. I just thought I'd share that with you in this video. Now, let's talk about storage options. Now, if you're familiar with my channel at all, you'll know that I'm very limited on space, so everything is gonna need to go on the wall. That is a piece of equipment that I use and that I want to keep. So, unfortunately, this guy doesn't roll flush against the wall because there's wheels on one side. It will jut out this way. If you put it on the other way, it's sitting on this peg right here. It will fall over. It's not safe, especially if you have children. What I came up with was just getting some simple hooks from Amazon or Home Depot, and then I took the shielding off of each side and I bent the hook out because there's little tiny holes on each one of the feet because you can actually bolt this to the ground. If you want to have it stationary in your commercial gym or your home gym or wherever, but that's not what I'm going to be doing here because floor space is limited. But what I would really like to say, and this is basically talking to the company, is why not make an additional piece that goes up on the wall that would safely secure these two pieces right into it, kind of like a rogue rack for your dumbbells or your barbells or any other piece of equipment. So that is how I have accomplished to get this thing on the wall. I might make something out of metal here, fabricate something here very soon. The company wants me to make something for them too. I will do that. But it is an opportunity for them to sell you one more product. So they might as well make something that hangs on the wall. You know, hit me up if you guys want me to help you out. The Nordic Mini, do I recommend buying this product? I absolutely do recommend buying this product. It's not because I have affiliate links, but it's more because I have been programming legs and I have a guy coming over every Friday to do legs with me. I did this with him the first time and he hated it and so did I. But at the same time, he says, are we gonna do those Nordic curls again? And I said, yeah. He goes, all right, cool. He's up for it. These are fantastic. They stretch out your hamstrings. It's definitely a move that I recommend doing, especially if it's going to be a warm up for like heavy squats. I like to get my hamstrings in check. I like to get my glutes in check, and then I go heavy because once I've activated those two things, I know that they're going to help me out with my heavy squats, right? You don't want to be all quads. You don't want to be all forward. You want to get this guy engaged, these guys engaged to help you get out of the hole. So if you want one of these guys and I've helped you out at all in this video, please consider clicking on the links below. It'll help me out. It'll help me be able to make more content. And until next time, guys, happy holidays and peace.